Hey guys, I'm just about to leave for work actually. I have my work shirt on, but I was fixing up a plant because my friend and I got variegated string of hearts yesterday, which are just so beautiful. And currently I'm going through the process of making it look fuller, and I thought that I might share that. There has been a couple videos online, especially Harli G's. Hers is amazing. And I tried her butterfly method in this sphagnum moss the other day. They're not rooted yet, but I just keep spraying this and keeping it moist, and it's in here in my greenhouse. And since we got the variegated ones, I wanted to make mine look fuller, and this is actually my friend's. Mine's inside, but she asked me to do the same thing for hers, and I thought that I might film it because it's really interesting to see how they grow. So basically, I cut this strand off here, and the butterfly method consists of cutting it here and here and placing it directly on top of the soil so that it can root downward. But if you want them to create those little potatoes that the roots come from, I don't know if you've seen them, but I can't. Unfortunately, I already potted this up and I didn't think of it soon enough. But they do grow little potatoes, and those are those root balls that they create. So that happens when these are actually this way in the soil, down. So what I've been doing is cutting them. So since this is the part, so when it grows like this is the bottom part, so you want that facing down. So I cut that part and I leave it a little bit longer, and then I cut the top part directly on it. So now we have a piece that looks like this. I usually cut the flower off, but since it's my friend's plant, I'm gonna leave it for her to do what she would like. But generally speaking, when plants are flowering, they take less energy from growing and put more energy into the flowers. So now we have our little stick like this, and we're just gonna stick it straight down. What that's gonna do is ensure that the roots create an actual root ball instead of just creating a new plant, and it's gonna help it root a lot faster. I learned that very recently, and I think it's a much better way to propagate it than the butterfly method. The butterfly method is great, but I think it takes a lot longer to root it, and honestly, I haven't had much success rate, especially in soil for that. So I did try that one in moss, and actually my friend helped me fix it afterwards. So I ended up sticking the one side down into the moss, and that's supposedly, and then you leave the parts out, and I think this is actually brand new, so it's already started to work. So putting that side down into it is really going to help it start to root faster, apparently. So I went ahead and did that, and now I have a couple longer pieces, and she wanted it really full, and it's still not super full on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some more, but I'm going to cut the longer one just so it's kind of even with the length. So again, I have this long strand here, and I'm just going to cut that part a little shorter just so it doesn't bend when I go to put it in the soil. And then I try to cut that piece really close, and then I'm just going to stick it in the soil. And we're going to fill it around the pot. That way each of these are going to grow a new growth point directly out of them. And because of the fact that it's able to create a root ball, it's going to create its own little tiny plant rather than just a little cutting. So it's actually going to put out probably more than one strand, whereas if you just kind of lay it on top, it might only put out one. And these smaller ones, I'm not sure how well they propagate. I'm putting them in there kind of just for fun, because why not try to get them to root rather than just throwing them out. But sometimes the teeny tiny ones, I don't know if that's gonna root. But anyway, we can try. So there we have it. So now we have a full looking string of hearts, and within about a month's time, it's going to, what is this doing? Within about a month's time, maybe 2 months, it's going to start to grow new strands out of every single one of those little butterflies that we did. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to turn out. So I think I'll probably just do an update video then. But I also learned that you have to keep these guys very moist, even though that they're a succulent. I've always been very bad at keeping these alive, and hopefully now that I have so many of them, all of a sudden, I'm going to keep them a little bit better. So they really need bright light to make sure that this turns really bright pink here. Otherwise they just kind of go white, and the plant, they really just need the bright light. So they need light. They need a lot of light. And then yeah, my friends were telling me to mist them every day. I was honestly watering mine like once a month because I thought that it was a succulent and it didn't need as much water. But the more you water it, the more thick and plump the leaves are going to be. And these are very thick and plump. And some of the ones I propagated in there were so flimsy and so dry. It was not a good situation. So keep these guys moist and keep them in bright light. And that is going to be how you take care of them. I hope that helped you out if you guys were wondering how to make your string of hearts fuller. I know that sometimes you'll go to a store and they'll have like one strand sitting across the top and you're like, oh, but I want like a full plant of it. Well, you can do it yourself and you can do it fairly easily. So I hope that helped you guys out. I gotta go to work and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.